think this might be one of the most underrated 2025 shows so far. So is this one you should check out on streaming right away? Let's get started on my review of Paradise Season 1. Let's go.
From the town I like nothing when I'm hopefuls lit. A small city or something, but mostly no one forgets. On the outskirts of where I've been dreaming since a kid. Thought I was cursed to never see a radio hit. A Grammy to industry or something even close. Miles outside.
What's going on, all my beautiful people? This is JC and I just finished watching the first season of Paradise. Before I do get started with my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review, just in case you haven't seen season 1 yet or any episodes currently showing on Hulu. Also, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more underrated sci-fi shows that I'm reviewing just like this. So Paradise Season 1 stars Sterling K. Brown, James Marsden, Julianne Nicholson, and more. A Secret Service agent investigates the murder of a former president in a seemingly peaceful community. Alright, so I've been hearing about this show for quite a bit now, for the past, I would say, month and a half, but I haven't really seen a lot of critics review it, or at least even on YouTube or on TikTok. So when I first saw the trailer for this show, I honestly thought this was just a political thriller. That's due to the marketing of this show though, which is a shame because this show is much more than a political thriller. The only thing that really makes it political was not only the Secret Service involved and the assassination of a former president, but that's kind of what sets things in motion, and then the show starts with a bigger concept and a bigger idea. And sometimes the less you know about a show or a movie, the better the twist or surprise will be. But in this case, a synopsis or a small glimpse into more of what the show is really about would have greatly benefited it. The important selling piece of this show, I think, is that it is set in a post-apocalyptic time, aka 3 years after an event took place. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say because I don't want to give too much away, but I also feel like that is an important part that was missing from the marketing that kind of plays into the sci-fi element that is this great show. And with that in mind, I wasn't too interested in this show when I first watched the trailer. I'm not gonna lie, I even saw it before I heard talk about it. I thought it was just one of those generic shows that Hulu spits out, but one of the things that really kept me intrigued about it, aside from the talk I was hearing, is that it featured Sterling K. Brown, James Marsden, as well as Julianne Nicholson. All three actors I've admired through their careers, and I know what they're capable of when it comes to their performances. So I thought ultimately I'd give it a chance. Thankfully, after I decided to check out the first episode to see where it went, I was already hooked. I then completely binged it within not even 2 days. I was so captivated by not only performances, but the elements of the sci-fi, and also to see where the show went. Because over the past few years, it's felt like we haven't gotten many shows like this. We've gotten unique ideas, and don't get me wrong, we've had some great shows, but Paradise was one of those shows that I feel like filled a void for me. I kind of got the feeling of Lost, or one of those shows that we used to get back in the early 2000s. Paradise was never meant to be what you expected though, and that's exactly what makes it so uniquely engaging. What begins as a tense family drama swiftly morphs into a gripping murder mystery before unraveling into a high-stakes sci-fi thriller about survivors of an apocalyptic event that keeps the show going. Over the course of its first season, the show constantly reinvents itself, layering twist upon twist and seamlessly weaving into flashbacks that challenge everything it initially established. The storytelling reaches its peak in the season's penultimate episode, capturing an eerie and relatable sense of existential despair as the world seemingly falls apart around Secret Service agent Xavier Collins, played by Sterling K. Brown, as he is not only trying to protect the president, Cal Bradford, played by James Marsden, aka Cyclops from the X-Men films, but while the show attempts at emotional resonance can be hit or miss in certain instances, but perhaps that's the idea that its creator Dan Fogelman from the show This Is Us aims to really do. Now let's get into the acting and performances because after all, that's also what kept me engaged throughout the show. At the heart of the series, it's Sterling K. Brown who plays Xavier Collins, and he delivers a powerhouse performance. Xavier Collins is a man driven by duty and personal loss, and Brown's portrayal brings both weight and vulnerability to the character, making his journey deeply compelling. James Marsden as President Bradford infuses the role with a blend of charisma and recklessness, creating a fascinatingly complex dynamic between the two leads. And I know with the start of the first couple of episodes, I thought, wow, wow, this is a totally different role of a president that we're not used to seeing in shows. We usually see the glossy, stereotypical type of image of a president, or we just get a president that is not very liked. Now let's talk about Julianne Nicholson. She plays the enigmatic Samantha Sinatra Redmond, delivering a compelling performance as the show's morally ambiguous power player. The supporting cast is equally impressive, ensuring that even secondary characters feel well developed and integral to the story. Now, as far as the dialogue and tone, Paradise walks a fine line between intense drama and unapologetic absurdity. Some of his dialogue is so over the top when it comes to the seriousness that it circles back to being inadvertently comedic. Yet, this is a part of its charm rather than a flaw. Paradise doesn't strive for subtlety, instead it revels in its grandiose ideas, making it all that more entertaining. It's kind of like watching one of those popcorn flicks where you think, okay, well, I'm going into this show not to take it serious because of the bigger ideas in its sci-fi world, but as you start to watch it, you start to feel like, wow, this is pretty entertaining and I'm captivated. Now, as far as the visuals and pacing, while the show's cinematography occasionally lacks flair and certain mid-season stretches feel sluggish, the overall construction remains solid. The central mystery of President Bradford's murder propels the season forward, with Xavier's investigation unraveling layers of deception. The final episodes ramp up the intensity, throwing in rapid-fire revelations and a high-stakes confrontation that ties together many of the lingering threads. However, the exposition-heavy finale, while engaging, sometimes feels like an overload of information, making certain resolutions feel slightly rushed. And that is one thing I will say about the show, is that the season finale did feel like it could have used maybe an episode or two more to kind of linger in a lot of those reveals that you end up finding out. But nonetheless, it's still solid. Now, as far as the music and atmosphere, the show's musical choices add to its distinctive tone, blending dramatic orchestral pieces with unexpected selections. One standout moment feature is one of an acoustic rendition of The Eye of the Tiger, which at first feels unintentionally amusing. Kind of made me giggle once I heard the lyrics and thought, wait, that's Eye of the Tiger. But ultimately it fits the scene's intensity, to the point where after that I thought, wow, it's pretty unique. The soundtrack often mirrors the show's unpredictability, enhancing both its more heartfelt and outrageous moments. While some visual aspects of Paradise feel a little uninspired, the score helps maintain a sense of urgency and intrigue. Also, in the third to last episode, there's some references of Die Hard in there, and I thought in my head, that's a perfect way of explaining it. Not to say that this show is exactly like Die Hard, but it does have some of that absurdity as well as the action and the mystery that keeps you feeling like, wow, I'm entertained. Now, here are my final thoughts, you guys. It's rare to find a show as delightfully over the top as Paradise. Sure, the plot twist can sometimes be predictable, and its philosophical musings on the fate of humanity occasionally stretch beyond its depth, but that only makes it more entertaining. Every episode barrels forward with fearless enthusiasm, embracing its own chaos with a straight face. The rapid tonal shifts make it feel like a collage of different genres mashed together, a reflection of today's streaming era where long-form storytelling often struggles to maintain momentum. Overall, Paradise is unpredictable, compelling, and above all, incredibly fun. It's the kind of wild, slightly messy, but undeniably thrilling show that feels like a rare gem in today's landscape. For all its imperfections, it's an absolute blast to watch. The crazy thing about it is that in between watching this show, I'm also watching Severance Season 2, which I'm enjoying as well, but it's definitely juxtaposition. At its core, Paradise is a feverishly entertaining ride, part thriller, part sci-fi epic, all wrapped in a package that refuses to take itself too seriously. With standout performances, particularly from Sterling K. Brown, and an addictive sense of unpredictability, it firmly secures its place as a must-watch series. Is this the absolute best show on television right now? No, but it's damn near close. I would say it's one of my top 5 for sure. And you should definitely check it out, especially if you're wondering what to watch or what new show to invest in. This is one that I think you'll definitely enjoy, and it's only season 1 that's out right now, but I think you should definitely give it a try. With all that being said, you guys, I'm gonna give Paradise season 1 4 flames out of 5 and a fire show rating.
It's good. It's good.
With so much unfolding, capturing the show's peculiar appeal is no easy task. Yet, as the gripping end of episode cliffhangers keep arriving, its impact becomes undeniable. Paradise is far from flawless, but it is undeniably captivating. Created by Dan Fogelman, this intricately layered, intellectually stimulating thriller weaves high-stakes political narrative, blending sci-fi apocalypse with a gripping mystery. Sterling K. Brown is endlessly compelling, delivering a nuanced performance that vividly conveys Xavier's inner turmoil. I have honestly been watching Sterling K. Brown for the past few years since I've seen him in Hotel Artemis and felt like he was the standout performance in that movie, as well as American Fiction about a year ago, and loving his performance in there. The man seems like he doesn't miss with everything that he's included in. Meanwhile, Marsden's portrayal is equally mesmerizing, making every moment on screen resonate, as well as Julianne Nicholson, who is another standout and gives another great performance that I'm used to seeing as well from her. So there are quite a few great episodes in this first season alone. So here are some of the standout episodes that were my favorites, including episode 1 titled Wildcat is Down, episode 4 titled Agent Billy Pace, episode 7 titled The Day, that was probably my favorite episode, and finally episode 8, The Man Who Kept Secrets. Alright guys, so have you seen Paradise season 1 yet? If you have, let me know what you thought of it overall in the comments. Also, what is your favorite show that you're binge watching right now? Last thing before I do go, you guys, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name is JC, and until next time, I'm out.